Joining me now, Steve Forbes, Forbes Media Chairman and Editor-in-Chief, and David Malpass, former President of the World Bank Group, both longtime friends. Gentlemen, let me start out. Some sound from Trump in Wisconsin earlier this week. Take a listen.
And upon taking office, I will impose an immediate moratorium on all new spending grants and giveaways under the Joe Biden mammoth socialist bills like the so-called Inflation Reduction Act. To further crack down on rampant waste in the federal government, we're going to bring back Presidential Impoundment Authority, and we're going to end this war on American energy. We're going to drill, baby, drill. Yet crooked Joe Biden wants to raise taxes on top of that and raise business taxes, which will lead to the destruction of your jobs.
All right, we'll stop there. We have another sound coming, but Steve Forbes, why don't you weigh in on that? And the general story here, I mean, even with these numbers, I mean, I don't want to go through numbers ad nauseum in the late afternoon show, but the reality is the job numbers were softening, have been softening, particularly household numbers, right? Wages are slowing, inflation is rising, supply managers weakening. I mean, it looks like we're going back into some kind of stagflation. But here's Trump's agenda. Is it the solution?
Oh, you answer the question. Of course. It worked before. It's worked in the past in history. Right. Whenever you reduce tax rates, reduce regulations, which are coming tsunami-like, crushing the economy today, when you get rid of those, slow those down, guess what? People prosper again. We saw it in the 60s. We saw it in the 80s. We saw it briefly under Trump before COVID. And looks like we may see it again. Yay, not a moment too soon. And also, he's got to pay attention to the Federal Reserve, which still hasn't gotten the message we need a stable dollar and not this Phillips curve mentality that you fight inflation by slowing the economy. It's nonsense.
You know, I thought David Malpass, something Steve Forbes said a good 3 years ago, okay, talk about prescience, regulatory inflation, right? So he said, you know, when you talk about socialism or big government socialism nowadays, it's not like Joe Stalin in the 1930s and the old. You don't have to buy the steel mill, okay? But you can regulate it to death. And you pour all these regulations on, and you're going to get higher prices and a gentle inflation. Or you cut back between regulations and taxes. You cut back, you choke off the supply of goods and services in supply side terms. What you think?
Exactly right. Yeah. And that's across the board. So think of all of the regulations that are coming from the engagement with Europe on the international front. They want to regulate everything. The Fed is doing bank regulation in a way that hurts small business. The government right now, over the last 2 months or 1 month even, is putting out a ton of new final regulations. It will take an army of lawyers to sort those out. And in the meantime, small businesses are facing this super high cost of capital. And so that's why there's inflation within the economy. There's just not enough people able to get away from the government and do their thing in bringing down prices.
Why is everybody working part-time, Steve Forbes? Now, you didn't see it so much in this month, but I jotted down some notes. On a year-over-year basis, part-time workers are vastly more than full-time. In fact, we've hardly had any increase in full-time employment at all. It's virtually all been part-time. Why is that? Is that to do with the regulatory story? Is there too many government benefits? Are people working from home? Why is that?
I think you can sum it up in one word: uncertainty. You're a business person. Are you going to invest in an environment where you're getting hit with tons of regulations? You're still not sure how this election's going to turn out. You have taxes coming on. You have the Federal Reserve still threatening not to cut interest rates with this crazy mentality that you got to fight inflation by making people poorer. So what are you going to do? You're going to hire part-time. And so far, most businesses, because it was so hard to hire people during the COVID shutdowns, they're reluctant to lay people off. But right now, if they need somebody, they do it part-time, or they cut the hours of people who are on your payroll now.
You know, I had, let's see, multiple job holders up almost 9% year on year, multiple job holders. Full-time jobs, Dave Malpass, minus 0.4%. Part-time jobs up 3.9%. Uncertainty is probably a very good explanation. Let me play one more Trump sound, and I'll get you to weigh in on this whole story. Because something tells me that while this orgy of regulations and tax threats goes on for Biden's presumably last 7 or 8 months in office, there's putting a freeze on economic activity. Anyway, here's Trump on the GOP and the workers, the middle class in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Take a listen.
Crooked Joe Biden launched the greatest confiscation of middle-class wealth in the history of our country. Biden has run the government like Robin Hood, essentially in reverse, stealing from the poor and giving it to the rich. That's actually what he does. They say many of the rich people are with Democrats. It's changed. We've become the party of the worker. We become the party of the middle income.
Now, that's an economic statement, and that is a political statement. What do you make of it, Mr. Malpass?
Two things. One is if you hire somebody full-time, that's an investment. You're investing in them, and they're investing in you, and you don't want to do it in uncertainty. If next year there's going to be a fiscal train wreck and the taxes are going to go up, you put everybody short-term, and you lose the skills that the workers should be getting from a full-time job. So that's one point. And the other, to this question of the little guy getting hurt by this environment. On Wednesday, both the Treasury Department and the Federal Reserve said that they were going to borrow heavily in the short term.
Yes.
That's what the little guy needs. Small businesses need short-term financing, but the government is saying, no, we are going to get all the money on the short end of the curve.
That's not good.
That's not
right?
good.
I wanted the 100-year bond.
Well, okay.
I wanted the 100-year bond. Trump loved the 100-year bond. I couldn't get it past the Treasury. Not you. It wasn't your division. It was another division.
I was happy.
Even a 50-year bond.
Well, and can I say even much more 10-year and 30-year? And
yes.
They could have announced that Wednesday, but instead they said, no, we're going to, even though the deficit is gigantic, the national debt is going up, we, the government, are going to borrow right where small businesses want that money.
Yellen's everything borrowing short, T-bills, which is just going to screw Gen Z. Okay, those kids are going to have the biggest debt burden in the history of mankind. I mean, don't you think so?
Affordability problem and
right, affordability. I mean, the other thing is, Steve, go back, the Larry Summers study. I mean, Summers gets it right oftentimes, although he doesn't like the tax cuts. Okay, he can't win them all. But he, what did he say? The original sin was the spending bill back in 2021, which launched the inflation. And lately he's been warning about if you use the old CPI, which included personal borrowing costs, okay, not the credit cards, because those didn't proliferate, but other things, inflation would have been a peak at 19%, but today it would be 7 or 8%. So the affordability crisis, prices are rising faster than wages, but also personal borrowing costs are through the roof. People can't afford the Biden economy.
And the mortgage rates are going to get worse. They came down a little bit.
Yes,
now they're going up again.
Right.
What's that going to do to people's faith in the future? They're going to hold back. Businesses are going to hold back. So everything they do creates uncertainty, which means we're going to have stagnation. Hopefully we'll get over that January 20th.
You buy the working class coalition? I mean, you spawned a whole bunch of us for the Forbes presidencies in 96 and 2000. Do you buy the working class coalition now? It would be a major difference.
Well, people want to work. And the Republican parties are the party of work,
right.
Party of getting ahead, party of opportunity, what Lincoln called the opportunity to improve your lot in life. You're not getting it from Joe Biden. It's amazing. All these tribunes of the people end up making people poorer. Certain people get rich through government handouts, and not the crony kind. Billions for
corporate welfare.
Projects.
Corporate welfare. EVs welfare. And this whole climate change is all about corporate welfare, energy department, slush funds, and all the rest. I like that. The reverse Robin Hood. That's exactly what it is. Take from the poor and give to the rich. Holy cow. Steve Forbes, David Malpass, terrific stuff.